Hi, this is Ben from Memberium, and in this video I'm going to show you step by step how to solve Memberium login issues. If you're having issues logging into the site, your members are having issues, it sometimes seems like the passwords aren't working, or you're being flooded with login issues from different users and you can't ever seem to pinpoint what the exact problem is, follow this guide in this video and you're going to be doing the same steps, the same troubleshooting steps that the Memberium support team does when you submit a ticket. So I'm going to show you right now the most common login issues and then how you can solve them. The first things first is to actually just verify the login credentials. You can do this by going to Infusionsoft and pulling up the contact record. So in this case, mine is parent123@test.com. That's my email address. And if I come to the additional info tab, here's the password. As you can see, it's actually protected, but if you just simply right click, press the inspect button right here, then you scroll up just a little here and you can see that the value here is bentest817. That's my password. Or if I change the type and I just type in text instead of password there, I'll actually see it in plain text right here. So I can see my password is bentest817. So I'll just confirm that with the user, tell them what their password is. I'll actually try to log into the site using this password. So I'll come over to my login page right here, paste in my email address, type in the password, bentest817, attempt to log in, and just make sure it's also failing on my end. If the user says they can't log in, I'm going to make sure it's not working either. So in my case, it does say login failed. Okay, so the next step is to make sure that there's no duplicate contact records. The simplest way to do this is just to come up here, paste in the email address, and just press enter. Okay, and by doing this, we're just running a search for all contacts that have that email address. You should only see one contact. If there's multiple contacts, you need to merge those contacts because Memberium does not work. It's not compatible if there's duplicate contacts inside of Infusionsoft. It doesn't know which one to use. It doesn't know which one to link to the WordPress record. So you need to have a single email address per contact. So you cannot have multiple contacts using the same email address. It just won't work. So make sure you merge those duplicate records and then try to log in again. And if that still doesn't work, the next step is just to look at the tags. Come look at the tags and simply see what tags they have. So it's pretty obvious in my case what the issue is. They have a tag called banned from site, and we'll get to that in a moment. But you'll also want to make sure that they have the correct membership tag. So I can actually see that they have the membership tag for my site. But a lot of times they might be missing the membership tag, or they might actually have a cancellation or payf tag. So for example, if I was looking here at all my tags, I might have the cancellation, payf, or suspension tag associated with my membership tag. I had the demo membership 1 tag. So if I had those tags, or if I was missing this membership tag, that could be a major issue in accessing the site. One other thing to note is that sometimes if you go to certain pages, so for example, if I go to my home page here and I press the edit page button, this is the page that they get taken to after they log into the site. So I've loaded up this home page here, and if I scroll down over here on the right hand side, I can see the Memberium Content Protection tab. This requires the Demo Membership 1 membership. So if the user doesn't have that membership after they log into the site, then Memberium's going to kick them back to the login page. That's how I have it set up on my site. So it might look like the login failed because on their end, they're going to press the login button, and then the page is just going to basically reload. It won't actually even say login failed. It'll just reload. And so it might look like the login failed when in reality it actually went through. The issue was just that they didn't have access to the page that I took them to. So make sure that the membership tags are correct and that they actually have access to the page that they're going to be taken to after they log into your site. Just verify those two things, and if they still can't log into the site, move to the next step, which is to turn on the Memberium login log. Go to the membership and then the settings tab right here. Scroll down, you're in the main tab here, logins tab, and enable login log. This should be turned on to yes, and press the update button. You can just turn this on temporarily. You don't have to leave it on if you don't want to. Go to the logs tab, and here on the logs tab, the first tab is logins, and you'll see all the logins on your site. So you can see when they logged in, IP address, and username. This will show a history of all the logins. It's also going to show you login errors. So on the logins errors tab, you can see different messages here. So I've made a couple, I've generated a couple just so we had some stuff to look at here. In this case, one time it failed because no active membership found, and I'll show you where that setting is. And then the most recent failure, which is this video right here that we're recording, is site ban tag found. So these errors right here are going to show up if Memberium blocks the login. So if they have the wrong password, that's not going to show up here. But if Memberium is actually preventing that user from logging in, a record of that is going to show up in this right here. It's going to give you a reason why Memberium blocked it. So in these two cases, no active membership or site ban tag, that is corresponding to the settings over here in Memberium settings and then the content protection tab. So right here under the content protection tab, you can see I have require membership turned on. This just requires that for anyone to log into the site, they have to have an active membership level. Any membership level, not a specific one, but they have to have at least one active membership level. So they can't have the payf tag or the cancellation tag for that membership. So in my case, previously I had just removed the membership tag from my user, and then that generated that error and prevented the user from logging in. But since I actually do have the membership level on my account, that's not the issue. You can see here that this tag is banned from site. My user has that. That is the site ban tag. The site ban tag basically just does exactly what it says. It bans somebody from the site. If they have that tag, they're not going to be able to log into the site. And I have set up that tag in this drop down here. So that's my issue. In order to allow the user to log in, I would simply just remove this tag. And now the user is going to be able to log in. I'll show you that in just a moment. But I want to cover one more thing that could be causing the login failure, and that is CAPTCHA plugin. So for example, on my screen right now I have a picture of a site that has a additional CAPTCHA. This is on the default WordPress login page, so you're probably using Mem login form, which generates a custom form on your own page with your logos. By default, WordPress login pages look like this, and you can see there's this third field here. It says MathCaptcha, so you have to enter this in addition to your username and password just to make sure that it's not a bot. However, Memberium's login form doesn't have any way to display that. So if you're seeing this on your site, a MathCaptcha, you need to disable that plugin. That could be also caused by a security plugin. To check for this MathCaptcha, what you need to do is look below this video, and I'm copying this right here from the documentation below this video. And this is a special URL that's going to allow you to view that login page. So you'll just add that to the end of your domain. So in my case, it's vidsteps.com, and then I'm pasting in that thing that I copied. And you can see here, I'm looking at the default WordPress login page. Now, with Memberium, if you don't add that exact URL that I showed you and you go to this page, it's just going to redirect you to the login page. So just make sure that you use that link that I put below the video. Now, in my case, I don't have any MathCaptcha, so this is not the issue. You can also try logging in there as well, just to make sure it doesn't work or it's still failing. And if you've reached this point of the video, there's one more thing that you can check before you reach out to our support team, and that is security plugins. So come to your site and look for any security plugins. In my case, I have WordFence installed. You might be using iThemes or Securi, some different security plugins. There's a lot of them out there. And they could be blocking the login as well. So I know in WordFence, if you go to the Tools tab, you're going to see different things here. And as you can see, I have, this is me logging in right here, and it's showing a warning on these two things, maybe because of my location, maybe because I'm using a VPN, those sort of things there. However, if you do see this red here blocked, that means that WordFence actually blocked it. So that could definitely be causing the login failure. So you could temporarily disable this, you could whitelist the IP address. There's different things you can do, and it's very difficult for me to give you specifics because there's so many security plugins. But if you think that the security plugin could be causing an issue, reach out to the developer of that plugin and ask them to help you troubleshoot the issue. In any case, if you're still having problems and you've checked all these things that I've shown you, reach out to our support team and make sure that you include the following information. We're going to need the link to your site. You can just send us the login link, so wherever you log in, send us that link. You're also going to send us a WordPress admin username and password. It can be temporary, but we need that to be able to check all the settings. On top of that, we need at least the email address of the user who can't log in. At least one user. If you have multiple, feel free to send 2 or 3. And if you have passwords for those, that's even better. That's going to help us solve this much quicker for you. The last thing is that if you have any other details, maybe steps that you've already taken to troubleshoot, those could help us. So make sure to include those in the ticket. The more detailed the ticket, the quicker that we'll be able to solve it for you. But one way or another, we'll be able to help you solve your login issue. And typically, it's all solved by the things that we've just covered in this video. But if you're still having problems, reach out to us. We're here 5 days a week, and we check tickets on the weekend. So you're definitely not alone if you're facing a login issue. With that being said, I hope this video is helpful to you, and I hope you don't run into any login issues. All right, thanks for being the best part of Memberium. Take care.